It was like, that is so weird to me that I can't wrap my head around it.
I can't either. That's why I just started laughing.
Well, it's better than throwing up, I suppose.
Hey!
Hi!
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
No, I'm excited more.
No, I'm excited. Today we're talking about, and just like that, season 3, the last 6 episodes.
Finally.
I've been obsessed with Adam and Seema and him smelling her
so...
armpit, and he's like, I literally like your pheromones.
Are you attracted
That's
to
nothing
him?
that, yes.
He's so hot.
He's like the first boyfriend I ever had.
Oh.
When she knocks his mom out the window, I screamed.
I was waiting for...
I was waiting as soon as she opened the window.
I was waiting for it when he showed her the apartment. We saw this beautiful...
I love that he's rich and he just works with his hands. First of all, you think that people that work with their hands are lower class, right? That would have been a whole episode on Sex and the City. Remember when they're getting their nails done?
That would have been, yeah, that would have been.
Remember, he's the guy that's wearing the Home of the Whoppers t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then,
Very
oh wait,
low-key.
does he own this business? Oh wait, he has this huge penthouse. Oh wait, what?
Yeah.
I love that he had all those layers. She's getting a gluten-free pie for him for Thanksgiving. Seema and Adam.
Well, talk about I
think they probably have the same political ideals.
I would assume so. I feel like they come from different backgrounds, but yes.
But they're probably...
They lean the same way.
We couldn't tell when they
met. Which is very interesting,
but then
isn't
I think
it?
they're both kind of the same class. You find out
definitely.
later. But when they meet, she's kind of like... I don't think she was looking down on him, but she was just like, you're Carrie's gardener.
Right. But I think that's more her personality in general.
I think so, too.
That sassiness about her. But I will say, because I was just in New York City, my favorite city in the whole wide world, when he said to her... that apartment, I believe, if I remember correctly, was $900 a month because it's a rent-controlled apartment. I literally started crying on my couch because I'm like, that, in particular, in the Manhattan borough.
25-foot high ceiling.
And that was a stunning apartment. I'm like,
it was beautiful.
What? I mean, it just gave me chills because I was like,
and that is like in his cardigan, like what?
Yeah. And it was like beautiful and modern.
He can never move, ever.
Why would you need to?
So I think the contrast from even... one of the first scenes where Seema sees Adam, she's in her car, and then she had to give back the car. And so, like, okay, can we say it? You kind of hinted at it. We could tell they weren't supposed to be ending the series here.
I don't think so.
You could tell in the last episodes it was not supposed to.
Not at all.
Brady having some chick pregnant?
Oddly enough, I saw, again, it popped on my Instagram feed, an article about, allegedly, Sarah Jessica Parker that is fuming about the cancelization of and just like that, and that she's trying so hard, I guess, to shop it somewhere else. And then I read another one that came out. I didn't actually read it. I just read the headline that about the possibility of a storyline continuing on. I didn't read the details of it, but all those things, I keep seeing a lot of that. It's quite clear to me. And then that shitty ending. I'm like, this is how, after 20 plus years of the legacy that these women have built, this is how you end it?
But wait, I like the ending. Not as a series ending.
No,
as
for a
season
season
finale and her dancing through the house.
Yes.
I love... Okay, because you know why? Aidan was gone. I thought he was going to hit her in one of those episodes.
Oh, like physically?
So I think... Okay, so we haven't talked about Tate's birthday party, so I've been waiting for Tate to show up.
That was so
odd. But then... he keeps running back to the kids like he's their only lifeline, and you find out the ex-wife is married, so she technically has a partner, but they're excluding him.
And she told her that they had sex.
That part,
and she just let it go.
She sleeps in that barn carriage, whatever, in her same clothes. He doesn't even give her a t-shirt.
But I did love that dress.
The kid is more empathetic. The shopping at Daisy's BFF. I mean, she styled it up.
She did. She was the middle child. I think was the nicest to her. That he was like actually trying to engaging with her. I'll tell you, that was all... I'm not going to lie.
Aidan broke her window? What the... I'm watching it, and I was just like, who
So that's what I was hinting at. When he did that, I don't know if it was a metaphor. I was like, that's where the crack really is going to start to, like, flourish in their relationship. Because there was something about, like...
that was the start.
Where he was at mentally, and he was getting jealous of... Duncan, yes. Oh, my God.
I'm glad she called him out on that.
I loved that character.
But wait. I love that she called him out on that.
Good.
And she goes, no, you were sitting out there waiting to see him.
Yes, he was.
I really liked him. I hated that he left. It was giving Big leaving for Paris, but in a respectful way. I was like, I never would have thought of Carrie being with another creative. And then I was like, Berger was a writer. So she has tried.
Yeah, but Berger was a big asshole.
But men get intimidated by her. And I think the fact that she was getting into fiction and he does autobiographies, because she typically does nonfiction, I think they met at a really good time.
I think, assuming when they were shooting that was, like, oh yeah, we're going to have season 4.
Yeah.
I think they were going to end up together at some point.
I'm
sure that he would go or something like that. I do not want another Alexander Petrovsky situation where she like goes and lives somewhere. No, we can't have that. I think he would have like come back I feel like something like that would have happened. I loved them together.
His story was too detailed for it to have just ended there. Yeah. Because even when he invites her to the party and he was like, "You're just my neighbor, but you're the famous one."
I love that L outfit. I was like,
wait. She kind of had an Alexander Petrovsky when she was supposed to meet with the writer and Aidan was having his tantrum and she was like, "I'll call it off." I was like, "No, Carrie, don't."
I know. I was actually really pissed about that. I don't know if I was so over Aidan at that point that anything he did was pissing me off.
So wait a minute. When he said to her, "Get off of me, you stink," or something.
Yeah.
And so then the next scene, she's laying in bed. And I was like, "No, your back's to him." And thank God he had to come to the door because she wasn't in the same room. I probably would have had to stop watching it because I would have lost so much respect for her. And the fact that she was like, "I'm not going back in there."
Yeah.
The filming of that was brilliant because I was almost in tears that he would speak to her that way in her own house.
Yeah.
And that she would allow it because she's been allowing a lot of stuff.
She has. I don't know if this is a hot take. I don't know if I've seen this before. I'd be curious to see how other people think. So anyone that's listening, leave a comment of your opinion.
Overanalyze with us.
Overanalyze with us. I think he's one of the most toxic relationships she's had. Oh. Mostly after the second time they got back together. I mean, he was like more in shape and he cut his hair. Think about like when they were engaged and she was like, "I don't know." Like she was, what I saw was a woman trying to figure out like her life and how she feels emotionally. And he was a dick to her about the whole thing. Yeah. And I hated that when they were like outside by that fountain and she's still wearing the engagement ring as a necklace.
You don't even wear that fucking ring on your finger.
Yeah, when he swore at her like that, I was like, go fuck yourself. And ever since then, I'm like, no, Aidan's Sex in the City too, when they kiss after they have dinner. I'm like,
he knew that she was married.
He
was married.
And he knew who she was married to. And clearly that comes all back around in season 3. I don't think he ever let it go.
We definitely can deep dive on that. Their relationship is important because it shows you that you could be the one that breaks someone.
Yeah.
And they can still never get over it, even if they get back with you.
She
agree. Broke him. I remember him wearing that bullshit butter yellow shirt to the wedding. Even when he was supposed to give them the love seat and then he decided not to.
Yeah.
I think Aidan always thought he was the prize. And then he was like, "But if I'm the prize, why does she keep coming and going?" Right? And so I think he was toxic.
I think he's so, and I know I want to watch their whole relationship the first time around.
Yeah.
Because I want to overanalyze that. But let me ask you this. Speaking of Aidan, my best friend asked me, he doesn't know anything about Sex and the City other than the random episodes that I showed him.
Yeah.
He asked me, "Do you think that Big was the love of her life?"
No.
You know?
But here's the thing about loves of your life.
I didn't know how to answer it either. I'm like, I don't know.
We would need to get a definition from a book or an Urban Dictionary. But like, I don't think so because you're a different person with every person you're with.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds so weird.
No, it's not.
At the core of you might be you, but like, thankfully it's 2025 and people are able to heal their childhood traumas and all that. You come back to who you always were.
I agree.
And I think Carrie, funny, bubbly, silly, that's her with Duncan.
Yeah.
Funny, bubbly, silly, that's her with the random ADHD musician. I think her with other creatives, because I feel like she probably was that kooky, funky kid in school who everybody liked, but didn't invite.
That fashion girl, she is.
I think that is her at her core. And so I think Big polished her up. I think Aidan, because remember when she met him, she was lying. "I'm not a smoker. I buy furniture. I'm a this." She does lean into the people that she's with and she kind of becomes them in a way. And then
which is understandable because when you're in a relationship and if you love someone, it's natural. Like we're as human beings, we're supposed to grow and evolve. And the people that are closest to us, whether it's our best friends and our relationships, as we evolve as people, whether we're single or with a partner, that is a natural thing to just evolve as a human being, not necessarily take on their traits. I mean, I guess right? But if you asked me a year ago, but of course Big was the love of her life.
What's a love of your life?
I don't know.
A love that rocks you to your core. I feel like they said that in one of the episodes.
Yeah.
Yes. But also, that would mean that she was Aidan's love of your life. And so he always got with this bullshit Kathy. Okay, so here's the thing. And we haven't even kind of touched on this. She mentions that she and Aidan, remember when she was talking to Miranda, she's like, we've had 20 years in this relationship.
Yeah.
That part, I couldn't roll my eyes at that because I dated my husband 3 times before we got married.
Sure, yeah.
But we dated when I got out of college, and then we dated before I went to law school, and we dated after I was very different in each of those.
Oh, sure,
like, when I first got with him, I wanted to date jerks.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't ready for a nice guy. And then when I got with him the second time, I got too busy.
Yeah.
I got in school and things were different. And so who cares that you're with him 20 years, Carrie? Who cares that you've known him that long? You guys have changed. You haven't allowed yourselves to change. You won't allow him to not even be as available now that he's a parent. And he could find time for her. He didn't want to. Kathy is married to a whole nother man.
She's annoying.
You are not. He's acting like these kids are toddlers. And I say that because, like, as your kids get older, they're less dependent on you. So there's a void that's missing. And he is toxic.
Yeah. You know what came to mind when you said that too? It's they each have grown as individuals in different directions, but their relationship to me never changed.
Yeah.
Each time it's like you're going back to the same toxic habits, the same bullshit. It's great and funny. And then some like thing happens where Aidan gets pissed off at Carrie again. Just like when they got back together that second time. I remember this scene, and this is when I started to feel really odd about Aidan. When she was trying to quit smoking again, and he like slaps the patch on her back. And she's like, ow. And I remember, because Kristen Davis's podcast, she talks about that, and she was saying, we probably wouldn't have done that scene now, because it was just enough aggressive that it would question, like, well, shit, if my husband did that, I know a lot of people would be kind of
or
upset.
how many people's husbands are doing that.
Or doing that, exactly. So so there's a habit where she's all like fine and dandy, and then she triggers him, and it all goes back to her cheating on him with Big.
Always, because she can't forgive him.
And he clearly can't forgive her.
But he doesn't forgive.
I don't think so.
And he intentionally doesn't forgive.
Yeah, I was going to say, definitely not forgiving.
And if I'm the prize, why can you keep hurting me? Why can I think you're always going to do this again? Like, she could never heal that wound that he has.
She really fucked him up, because when they were at that final lunch, regardless of how I feel about it, it did kind of break my heart a bit.
I didn't like that scene. Do not chase me down the street. I don't give a fuck.
But that, like, when they were like breaking up, and I was like, I'm proud of her, because she was very stoic, and he's like a baby crying. Whatever. But it was quite clear, like, he will always be triggered if there's another guy that she's getting close to in any kind of way. So he's seeing her with Duncan. They're having all their writing sessions. There he is. He's getting triggered because he's thinking big. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't understand that, but...
You don't get it, because why are you trying to date if you're not healed?
I agree.
Because, you're talking, what I just thought of?
You fucked your ex-wife.
Remember the Aussie she dated, the shoe guy?
I liked it.
And she's like, I'm going out with Oliver. A guy? And she's like, no, he's gay. Oh. He was even jealous of him until he found out he was gay. So the thing is, like...
Yeah, he's got issues.
But let's compare them to Charlotte and Harry.
Oh.
Because they had some huge relationship things. But...
Well, I did spill that he got cancer. Did you know that last week?
No, and I think I forgot.
Yeah, it's cancer. Surprise. Well, I want to know, actually, from your perspective. Say your husband had a health issue and he didn't want you to tell anybody. Could you do that? Like, even to your best friends or something?
Yes, because my best friends don't live here. You're my only friend that lives close. So that'd be easy to just not mention.
I'm too much of an emotion. But you are more stoic than I am.
But I would try not to, because my parents would have health issues, and then they would be like, oh, your dad had prostate cancer.
Yeah. You're like, what?
No, but it was 4 years ago. They would only tell us about stuff after it was over.
Yeah.
But it's like, but we're lucky you can tell us now. Yeah. What if you had to call us like, oh, the treatment didn't go well?
Exactly. Then you're dealing with that, and then I'd be really pissed off.
So for that, I probably would have to talk to him and be like, can we not?
Yeah.
Because Charlotte literally showed us, you are carrying all that on your own.
That broke my heart.
And that part, okay, but you don't really care for Harry. Did you like him more in the last 6 episodes?
I'm going to retract my statement a little bit. I do love Harry. I think there was more of a focus on him that I felt like the whole, like, him getting the skinny jeans and all that. I'm like,
what's this about?
I don't care about that. But I feel like his role was bigger than I needed it to be.
Okay.
But that storyline, I think it broke my heart because of Charlotte. Yeah. When she runs into Carrie at the convenience store. And she starts
Charlotte is always lying to her friends.
I know. And I'm like, girl, just like let it out.
She has to have this I'm perfect facade.
Yes.
And it has to be exhausting.
Because that's what she's always wanted, right? Always to get married, have that family.
Even to the point where, like, she was packing their lunch in one episode, and I was like, Charlotte, for you living here, you would have a house manager. Please don't tell me you really are pretending to go to the grocery store.
Like, while working and all this kind of stuff.
You got a job as the docent just to get out of the house. Please stop trying to be like, I'm packing my kids.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she did that for the gram.
I will tell you, I do love Charlotte's character.
You love Kristen Davis.
I do love Kristen Davis. Because you know why? Because she loves this job. And that's why and there's something so endearing about that. When I was in New York City, I can connect anything about Sex in the City while we're here.
I love it.
But it's funny about Charlotte because she wanted the perfect life, right? Wanted the husband, kids,
perfect pregnancy.
And do you realize married to a guy that was impotent, divorced him, wouldn't give her a baby. She couldn't get pregnant. Harry, they have to adopt their first child because she had
after they split because she made him propose at a certain time. And he's like, chill.
And after she had to convert to Judaism, I was like, girl, like I think it's you are a mess, just like the other chicks.
Terrible wedding. My favorite episode of the entire series.
Wedding. Her and Harry's wedding.
When she
everything
Harry
went wrong.
Married,
when Miranda's giving her speech.
That random guy.
And Miranda's giving that speech and lights her speech.
No, remember when she and Harry get sick when they go and have the cheese plate?
Oh, yeah.
And then she and Harry, he has cancer. She has vertigo. I was like, you guys are all... But that is what marriage is. A lot of it is really boring. And then the rest of it is you do care for the other person, but like in a mature way.
Yeah.
Aidan would have moved in with his kids and babied them. They're both like, you have your issues, but I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
Told the kids to leave us alone.
Yep.
I can't stand up, but I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
That's interdependence, not codependent. Aidan was like, I have nothing. I need these 3 kids to fulfill me.
Right. He wanted full control over Carrie. Let's just be completely honest. Clearly.
He'd be the type, if she was sick, to be like, make her beg for like medicine or something. Or he'd be like, oh, I can't, I'm not running to the store. I just went.
But she would have to make him soup and all that shit. Yeah.
He was toxic.
Thank you.
So why did we like Aidan?
You know, I think because they brought him back in the second movie and there was this like alluring, like, because I don't know if you had this moment. I remember watching Sex and the City 2 in the theater and she's in the souk and she sees Aidan. I remember, I think, a collective gasp in the audience. Like,
first of all, she looks stunning.
Stunning. Well, the fashion in that movie.
And then what are the odds of her running into
Aidan? But which is also kind of stupid.
Girl, I like their date where they were flirting more than I like the kiss.
I loved her outfit and her like eyeliner.
I was like, oh. I like their whole like, oh, this is cute and it's not going anywhere. And then I was like,
but I think that's why.
Why did y'all cross the line?
I think that answers your question. I think Aidan was really was her only like second really long-term relationship. All the other guys didn't last that long. So I think we thought, okay, well, Big's dead, so clearly she has to end up with Aidan. But Big
wasn't even dead in the movie. We just were like,
maybe they're trying to push him on us, and that's why we just bought into it. Cause like, oh my god.
Or maybe Aidan is a whole idea of the good on paper guy, but could still be an asshole. Because we need to add up all the episodes. I think she dated Berger as long as she dated Aidan.
I don't think
she was with him almost that whole season, and the season before when they went to the wedding.
I guess so, maybe.
I think she's had.
Maybe.
The Aidan thing we have to look at from like even the other side.
That's a whole
because
episode right there. I dissected the Aidan Shaw.
When he met her.
Is he even still building furniture as a business?
I don't know, but remember he was that guy with the dog. And then she comes in flashy with Stanford. He may have been hoping to even get on her radar. But even from then, he's trying to humble her. I can't date a smoker. I can't do that.
Which is fair, but you're such a dick about it.
But there's this guy I follow on social media, and he talks about how stop calling women gold diggers. All women are expensive. Find the one that's in your income and keep it moving. Aidan was probably always dating above.
Yeah.
Carrie was not on your level.
Yeah.
And I think he's always felt insecure about that.
Well, I would probably argue, though, this. When we first meet Aidan, he has a showroom in New York City.
Right. And
you know that right.
And he had that other house out in Suffering or whatever.
So it's like he had money by the second relationship, able to also invest into the bar with Steve.
True.
Which, what happened to that fucking bar?
Well, old dude was working at it, Brady. Remember he said, I'm leaving Scout to go to chef school. Yeah. But we don't talk about Aidan and Steve anymore. I was happy that Steve came back, though.
You know, that's actually a very good point. Why did they not ever show Steve and Aidan together?
Because to your point earlier, we didn't want to see the husbands and boyfriends. You're like, why are you showing so much of Harry? People probably didn't want that.
You know what? I would have appreciated it.
Steve.
Because I'd be like, oh my, is he still an investor in this fucking bar? Did he buy him out?
And just like that takes us past the girls.
That's true.
And if you were only wanting it to be the 4, this does show you, oh dude, running for comptroller.
And
what is that job? When the hamster gets lost.
That was Such a stupid scene, but also really funny at the same
time. But
time.
also, it did look like a rat. I was like, oh, I never thought of them as
I want to
rodents.
back up for a second. I think I hinted this at you. What did you feel about Charlotte's reaction when she saw Rock as very female presenting and her getting emotional?
You did hint at it. I don't remember because I love when Rock said, I'm going to be multiple people.
Yeah.
And this is just who I am.
Yeah.
I think that she's okay with like, this can be my body, but that's not who I am. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like that.
I love Rock. I think they are a great character. Again, Charlotte, who is, when you really think about it, you dive into Charlotte, wow, that character is so multidimensional. But there was something...
She's the most resilient.
Arguably 100%. And there was something that I felt, I mean, I'm not a parent, you're a parent. I mean, I have a 4-legged daughter. That makes me cry when I'm not with her for like 10 minutes. Rock is non-binary. Love that for them. Love any person living within their truth. But I wonder, especially for Charlotte, who wanted this perfect life, seeing their child as
and her only biological child too.
I totally forgot about that. That's such a good
point. That
would
have fit into the perfect story.
I have to imagine, and obviously Charlotte is such a great mom, and lets Rock be Rock. But I have to imagine, I think it's so human. It's quite clear because Charlotte is such a good mom that I don't think she regrets, obviously, anything like that, or is resentful. But there's something very human about like, oh, this is the daughter that I thought I was going to have. From a human standpoint, from a human story, that's a very real thing. I think that's why so many people were like, this show is way too woke and all this.
Right.
Because we weren't really talking about the full emotional structure. The same way like parents that, you know, when their children come out as gay or lesbian or bi, my parents were really liberal. I'm sure there was a moment like, oh, we thought our son was going to marry. You know what I mean? And so I think that's a very like... human thing to witness, especially for Charlotte, because we haven't seen that yet, other than her like trying to figure out all the lingo and stuff, which is hilarious.
But there's two things. The characters are so much more complex now than they were.
100%.
Because they only have pets, and then she get the baby towards the end. The movie, they're parents of young kids, and so I'm a parent of a young kid, so I can't imagine that expectation on her. But also, I'm not living 15 years ago when the movies were here.
Right
now. They say they in the school newspapers. They don't say, oh, your daughter is like all cute. Around. They just say...
to avoid any...
They do. And so that might be... That's the time that we're living in.
That's a good point.
It would definitely be her conditioning. Between all the things kids have to deal with. If they're still alive.
It's all that matters.
And they still want to talk to you. I don't care. I mean, there's this thing... I was talking to someone, they have like a middle schooler. There's things called furries. We're kids that need to like poop in like a litter box in a school.
Okay, is this real though? Because I've also
real. So we are very far removed from.
I heard that was all a conspiracy.
But what I'm saying is, if we were in our 60s, the way that we would look at parenting would be very, very different. Because we'd have 60 years of conditioning that we would have. So I can't say, because my husband and I, we look at our 4-year-old now and we're like, if you want to go to college, like.
Right. Well, I was going to say, you already have that more, and I think that's just a modern parent. In general, I'm not going to speak for all parents because there's some horrible parents out there, don't get me wrong. But you are of the, like, you're very obviously accepting person that I'm sure you love your daughter no matter what. But I think it's a very human element to see someone. Though it's like, well, we talk about Harry all the fucking time. I want to know what he thinks of.
Why was his dad there? That was so random.
For that one episode. And he fucks the neighbor.
Lily was so girly. I don't think Charlotte missed it. I don't. I think maybe, did Charlotte ever want to be an actor? I feel like there was more than just her being dressed up. I think it was more than that.
I will tell you this. I hate how we ended the legacy that is Sex and the City in that way. However, one thing that I'm very appreciative of, and maybe it's because we're doing this podcast too, that I have a different lens. Every time I rewatch, even Sex and the City, Charlotte used to be my least favorite out of the 4 women. And she's not number one. I would say she's probably number 2, actually. Because there is something about, I think it's because you look at her character evolution as a human being. Because, of course, you're going to give the more conservative one all these roadblocks of like, okay, you can't get pregnant. You have to adopt a daughter. You finally have a natural born child, and then they come out as non-binary. Oh, well, of course you're going to give her all these elements that the other women might be able to like sail through.
She accepts and acknowledges her being non-binary. Yes. Because she could force her to wear dresses.
Right. And
from her being a little kid, she could have been like, you're only playing with dolls. Parents used to. It's not that people are just now not
I think in season 1 of Just Like That, I think she didn't force, but I think she was trying that very Charlotte thing of like,
no,
but wouldn't you want to try? And then she did let it go. And I think
she had to acknowledge it. Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about Charlotte York. Really appreciate and love Charlotte. Because I now look back, I'm like, I probably would be friends with Charlotte today if I just like ran into her.
But to speak to how people change today.
Yeah.
If you met her back when she's like, there's no mental health issues, just exercise.
I'm assuming you would have
been like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Here's the real question I want to know. What is her voter registration? Do you think she's like progressive now?
I think she's progressive, but I think she's one of those people that doesn't disclose. Because I just don't think she thinks.
Well, you know what I mean. I would look up her voter registration profile.
I know, but I think she's one of those people that it'll be non.
She's probably a Democrat.
Well,
they're Jewish. It doesn't really mean much, I suppose. But Harry he reacted way easier about Rock than I think Charlotte did.
But your
and
personality and your politics.
That's
very different. I know a lot.
I'm gonna assume
black
from
people
my
that are very conservative.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, slight off topic, but
they're in an income bracket. We started this talking about class.
That's true.
What do you think her class is voting at?
That's true.
People are complex
so you're right.
And complicated
and misled. And need to find Jesus.
And
or whatever you believe
that's
in.
Complex and complicated.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I bet you I could see Aidan.
Oh, you know what? I kind of can too. Oh, that is such. You have to deep dive that too.
Who is this girlfriend that my dad has? This big city girl. We're Southern people.
Fashion
We're living
girl.
out here in Virginia. Is not
sex columnist. Well, not anymore, but.
Who is this person that broke my dad's heart? Yeah, of course they all hate him.
I hate her. Do you think? Well, not that middle one. I can't remember
if you put the two, if you put Carrie next to Kathy, they are not the same.
Well, Kathy's a butterface. So.
They are not the same.
And I don't mean the actress. I mean the character. Is clearly they're trying to make her kind of frumpy-ish. She's not like.
They are not the same. They are not the same.
She's an interior designer.
And so
you think that she has a better style.
Maybe she used to be. But you look at it and you're like, how did my dad pull her? But also, yeah, you look like you would break people's hearts.
I bet you Tate does hate Carrie. It was quite clear. He had a weird, he's like, hey, Carrie, when he showed up to his birthday.
The one who was obsessed probably thinks about her all the time. She definitely lives rent-free in his head.
Well,
and then the middle one, he was friends with her. But I think he has issues because I think Aidan had an anger problem.
What did he throw out the window when they're all at dinner for?
Oh no, the kid came and broke the glass. With
yes.
That,
stick. Yes. I was like.
And then we see Aidan break the glass in the next episode. Aidan talking about, I need to go take a swim. Your child.
He's a dick.
But wait, I don't think we talked about this. Carrie and the Adderall. Did she get the Adderall to try to be friends with Kathy? Was she just happy that she texted her?
I think so.
And then because she was Charlotte being the drug mule. I know we're using that wrong, but her being the connection get it. Hilarious.
Again.
That wouldn't have been
the most unexpected Charlotte thing to do. Yet again, another example. Let me ask you this, to switch gears a little bit. I am so angry because Miranda normally is my favorite character.
Oh gosh.
How her last scene is that shit scene at Friendsgiving.
No, it was her and Joy, right?
Yeah, but she was cleaning up the shit from that girl. That was her last scene ever. What the fuck? That,
and the lady comes over.
Well, it was the friend, that asshole, kind of an asshole friend of
Brady, what were you parenting? We were just talking about parenting. Mm-hmm. The lady talking about, well, I'm raising a so-and-so sign. It's going to be a Gemini rising. And I was
that was.
I was like, new parents. I was like, okay, I love that. I'm here for all of it. Made me laugh because
that is so.
I only eat brown rice and seaweed. Are you eating cheese? Well, you didn't ask. You just said, and it takes you back to how Brady and even his people are even the young people are separate because she's super woo woo and I'm pretty woo woo.
Same.
And then he's this chef who's like, I'm about to get a new job to take care of you. They don't know each other, so I kind of don't. I don't know how they would have played that out. I would have liked to find out. Becoming a grandma. Why is she forcing that?
Well, okay. Does this surprise you when you think Miranda was the first one to get pregnant? She was the first one to become a mom. Because she was the last one that you would think. Of course they're going to make her. It's life imitating art. It's the same thing.
I kind of like that, though, because Brady's the eldest. To be honest, if Charlotte's kids got pregnant, she'd make them move out of state and either give it up for adoption, if not, do the other option.
I'm not sure because she's showing. Who knows?
She ran out in the snow to get condoms. She would not be a grandma
really
right now. Even though they can afford it. But again, that speaks to the class of it all.
But it's not surprising to me because
it's not surprising that Miranda's the first to be the grandma.
Right, because she was the first to become a mom.
But how grandparents' rights are a big deal. Like my kiddo just started kindergarten, and if you can't go to a PTA conference, you can have a grandparent go. Yeah. Grandparents' rights are a lot more enforced and acknowledged than they used to. But I
love that.
It is sweet, but like
it brings up an issue, I suppose. Yeah. Something that I never thought about, I have no reason to think about. When Steve and Miranda had like dinner by themselves, after all was said and done, maybe that mom doesn't want Brady involved. Yeah. But can you imagine being the grandparents who who might be pissed about the circumstance, but they want.
And they were both aligned. She was like, the baby's going to know their grandparents. And Steve was like, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, that is something I guess I never really thought about it's one thing for like the parents.
Yeah.
But like the grandparents.
You don't really think about that.
Yeah. I was like, shit. That makes me kind of sad in a way if they didn't have the opportunity. Because, Steve obviously would be a fun grandfather. That's quite clear because he's kind of like a child at heart.
I think Miranda being a lawyer fits in the most. But also she and Charlotte are the only parents. Because I'm like, I couldn't see Carrie doing that, but I couldn't see Carrie with a baby.
I was going to say, I can have seen Carrie with a cat, and here we are. I'm like, Carrie is a cat lady?
But Shu, what a bullshit name. At least name him Manolo.
It doesn't surprise me, but it does at the same time. I could have seen it. She wouldn't do that. She wouldn't name it like Versace or something. She would name it, like
Shu.
Purse or something. But she loves shoes, so it's, on brand for Carrie.
Okay, so in the last one we talked about the house.
Yeah.
But I started to like the house. Maybe she just needed to furnish it.
That's all she needed to do.
Because we have that party.
And she couldn't have done it till Aidan was out of the picture. And that made total sense to me.
Because she had been, her whole life had been hanging and waiting.
And that was quite clear. Their whole thing where they weren't together, but they were. Well, of course she didn't want to I don't think it felt right to her to do that yet.
But that's how much she is overcompensating and investing for him. Because even if she furnished it and they both decided on the table,
which he bought for her,
that doesn't make the kids like
I didn't like that.
It was still all superficial. It was a bullshit table.
I know. I'm like, it's not
but
that
it was
great,
still
Carrie.
So superficial. It was all so like, you can't make him acknowledge you if he doesn't want to. You can't make him trust you if he doesn't want to. You can't make him want to be here and be invested in all of it.
Give Carrie props. Oh, thank God, because I'm assuming she's almost 60. For being very okay with that scenario of like, yeah, I know you're leaving tomorrow. We can have sex and have this like very short-lived love affair. And she was cool. Not like that whole thing that I feel like we'd be used to where she'd be like maybe sad inside or whatever.
Or she would she was not do it because she'd be like, you're leaving.
Or not doing it, exactly. She was like, yeah, let's do it.
I loved it because, I don't know, I was like, yay. As you get older, you can still have sex.
I like
that none of them were celibate.
I'll say this. I love Carrie Bradshaw so much. I think she is, I think most people would agree, whether you're a Sex and the City fan or not, arguably one of the most famous fictional characters in TV history. Reflecting on all of this, it makes me actually kind of heartbroken in a way. And I'm like, so if this is truly the end, which most likely it is, Carrie ends up with nobody. Like,
which is
really?
So on point.
And that's a sad thing. It kind of is.
Because I feel like even when she was with Big, they still had a lot of time apart. Because Carrie is just not that clingy, sit on the couch with your feet up under me person.
She's not.
And I love it.
And I don't think, to your point, when you really examine all her relationships and kind of her life and how she's also evolved, I don't see a man truly fitting into that equation long term.
I think it would have to be someone who actually would travel most of the time. Kind of like she and Aidan, but if she was allowed to have talked to Aidan. Like, I don't think she would have asked his opinion on as many things if he was allowed, if she was allowed to talk to him.
Or like long distance with Duncan. Like, he can live in London, they could see each other every few months or whatever. I could see that.
They did such good casting with Duncan.
I think so too.
Okay, so I'm completely biased. Carrie looked better in the last 6 episodes than the first one. And I think it's because she had this hangdog face. Take it back to Samantha. Does your relationship make you look like this?
Yep.
Or this? Because I was like, she started to wear her hair straight, and then she got it big and curly for the party, and I was like, she literally looks better in the last couple episodes without Aidan.
I'm gonna assume this is reading way too deep into something that I know is not true.
Overanalyze it.
We're gonna do it anyways. I don't remember the term when an actor plays a character, like they live in it. I'm blanking on it right now. It's something that Lady Gaga does when she takes on roles. She acts as the character when she's not filming.
Yeah, like what would they eat? What would they drink?
Exactly. How would I talk? I don't know. It just says she's like that, but at least after 20 years of playing Carrie Bradshaw, she knows Carrie. So there is a part of me that has to believe that her knowing Carrie, what this meant for her, lighter, knowing, oh, this is definitely how Carrie would feel.
Yeah.
So I think that amps up every little aspect, from the hair to the makeup to the clothes, how she wears it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she felt lighter, because I think what Aidan weighed her down.
He did. He
quite
weighed
literally.
Her down, even to where they went out of town, and we touched on this a little bit last time with the car, and she packed lightly.
Yeah.
You don't pack lightly to go anywhere.
Yeah.
She was cosplaying as Aidan's girlfriend.
Yeah. Literally.
This is what I think she would like. Oh, I'm not fussy. I don't bring in these. He knows you as fussy. Yeah. He knows you as that. He knows you as all of
I don't like that kind of a Carrie. I'm like, that's not the Carrie that I love. We
haven't talked about Anthony.
Oh my God, that scene.
Giuseppe and this puppet.
I was horrified.
What'd you think about his mom hating Anthony?
I mean,
and the fake accent,
and the fact that it was Patti LuPone playing, that just made me laugh, just because that was hilarious. I had a feeling, I was like, of course we can't give an easygoing Italian mother to.
What's their age gap, you think?
Anthony's over, well, because that was a part of the storyline, wasn't it? Of like,
oh yeah, he's like,
don't tell him I'm over 60.
Yeah.
So I don't remember how old.
But he's probably 25 at most.
I'm gonna hope 30 at least. It makes me feel better. I'm like, he's young. I do remember that he's pretty young.
But even if he is 30, that makes me feel better, because we kind of forget how young we are at 30.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, but I'm 30. But
how young we are, but how mature we are at the same time.
And he was mature to be with him. To have that job. He knew he was pimping him out in the outfit.
Right. He had a good head on his shoulders.
That's true. Okay.
And I love that they got engaged in the dressing room.
I thought he was going to be rich, where he wasn't bringing Anthony to the apartment, and then we find out the mom was rich. And then he's like, do you want to come over to the house? I thought it was going to be a Adam situation where it was this big, huge penthouse.
Oh, I had a feeling it was going to be like, of course.
But I wasn't expecting him to have this old man neighbor.
That's like jerking off to him. Oh my God. I was equally as horrified when I saw that of when Aidan was jerking off.
He was like, no, he's a sweet old man as my neighbor. And then
I'll tell you this.
Why was he looking at the?
Because it was him. Because Anthony called it. He's like, that is you. He's like, well, I'm his muse. When he admitted that he was that old guy's muse, I was like, no, he's gonna have like a shrine. I thought it was gonna be like a shrine or something. I knew something like that was gonna happen.
A photo, because porn is a photo of videos of.
But that's why it makes it. I'm like, I didn't need to see that actually. He was like naked in a chair. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't want to see this ever again.
I couldn't even make sense of what was happening, because I burst out crying, laughing, because he was so into it.
And he goes right into the bedroom. He's like, yeah, I'll move in. And that's their last scene.
How hard up do you have to be to hold a doll? I can't. I burst out laughing, but it was like hysterical. I thought I was going to wake up the baby next door.
I was horrified.
Laughing so hard.
And not because I'm a prude. I'm like, I don't care. It was like, but the puppet, it was like, that is so weird to me. I can't wrap my head around it.
I can't either. That's why I just started laughing.
Well, it's better than throwing up, I suppose. I did not throw up. I was just like,
I guess he is. I mean, he's definitely like taking advantage and using him as the muse. Like, it just made, that was so old school Sex in the City. That's some stuff they would have had in the old show, where you would have just been like when they talk about like people jerking off on the subway, or I saw someone peeing on the corner. That was so old school.
Doesn't it make you wonder, like, okay, what like funny thing would Carrie say? Like, you know, like her little innuendos and jokes that she makes. I would have loved to hear what she had to say about that. I don't know if Anthony
would have told her, because we don't get that much of them. I mean, he definitely would have told Charlotte. Yeah. But we don't really get that part.
I could see that. He would told Charlotte, and they'd be out his like bread store, and like, so Anthony told me.
Actually,
I could see it.
What? Because now they're kind of all like.
Oh, how do you not tell anyone that?
Mature.
Oh, whatever.
Because Giuseppe didn't even tell him, right? Anthony still doesn't know. Because then he'd be like, "Oh, you're right."
That's a good point. Actually.
So now that they're old, they all kind of like protect their relationships. So I think it was the last episode where they go to that bridal runway show. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's where Seema's talking about he doesn't want to get married.
Okay, I'm glad you just brought that up, because I actually loved that scene. Because you see Seema and Carrie have an intimate conversation, and it transitions to Charlotte and LTW having that intimate. The filming and how beautiful it was. Those were two such beautiful moments. Yeah. Especially of how they filmed it. I was like, I loved that scene so much.
It was beautiful. The
and meaningful,
gorgeous, like whatever greenhouse looking, very representative, and then they're having their like tacky conversations they always have when they're out. But they were very.
There was what I appreciated about it was again how they filmed it. Mm-hmm. It was so artistic and beautifully shot, but so representative of like that to me almost felt more of a finale.
I still don't know why we were there. Was Carrie writing about bridal wear?
I don't. That's actually.
I still don't remember why, but I thought that it was cute that like.
I'm gonna rewatch it because I wonder if there's something I'm missing.
Could ask Charlotte, like, what do you think about marriage? Because Miranda and Charlotte had that about parenting in the movies. Yeah. And then Seema and Carrie, both single, but Carrie had been married. Yeah. Remember, and when like they had their first season where she said that thing that Seema didn't like, felt like it was dismissive because Carrie does always have boys around, men. Yeah. For Seema to be asking her, because now Carrie's the old married lady. Yeah. Not even divorced. She's the widower. Yeah. So it was very, very...
I loved it. I was like, you know what? Arguably, if it ended like there, I think I would have liked it. It just, there's something I think very emotional and like very authentic of that moment. I'm like, oh, this is... When that happens, like, oh, this really is ending.
You feel the way I felt when Carrie was getting the pies. Because she notoriously doesn't cook in any of the episodes.
And her delivering it to everyone individually.
And her being the one that still supported the corner market. Yeah. And the lady was like, even during the pandemic, I didn't see you buying pie. I was like, that's so Carrie.
That actress is so funny. I've seen her on random shit. She's so funny.
But I was like, Carrie would have done that. She would have been the one.
Well, you know, it makes you...
Charlotte would have went out to the Hamptons for the whole 2 years.
But it was like, it's very Carrie for her to do things behind the scenes, like something like that, like supporting a small business during a tough time.
And she never mentions it. The other people are like, no.
That's the thing, yes. Yeah. It goes silent because she doesn't need to like boast about like.
Carrie's a good person.
Carrie really isn't. So people really like. I think when Megan Thee Stallion was on Kristen Davis's podcast, she does not like Carrie.
Really?
She calls her very toxic because she makes bad decisions. And I'm like, to a certain point.
She's 23 though. Maybe if we were 23.
I know. Well, I wonder how but she didn't see it just like that at all.
Okay.
I don't think, or like maybe it was like season 1 because she was just starting Sex in the City.
Why did Kristen Davis have her on the show?
It was so random. It was such a good episode. I loved this. I love this new generation of people putting their 2 cents in Sex in the City. I loved seeing that. It also makes me feel old as shit because I'm like, oh, about the show that I grew up watching and idolizing, still do idolize. Now a whole new generation of people are watching it.
Wait, you were watching it when you were young as well. I was watching it in college, and they were 30. Well, so we weren't contemporaries.
Well, I was watching, and I should not have been. And I was 7 years old in '97. I was sneaking into my parents' room to watch. I should not have been doing that.
That's so cute. I mean, you didn't understand half of it.
You know what? I would ask my mom. I'm like, what does this mean? And she's like, what? I did love that.
That's so funny. All right, so let's pull a Sex in the City trivia card, and then we'll end it. This was good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here's mine.
Okay. Who walked in on Charlotte having sex with Trey?
Oh, Bunny, right?
Bunny McDougal. Yes.
That'd been funny to see. Well, I don't think that character's alive anymore.
Character or the actress?
Both. Oh. Well, she was pretty old.
Sorry.
Okay. In season 1, going back, what was the name of the playwright Miranda dated? I remember this guy.
I remember him being the shower scene guy.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I just watched this episode.
Hold on, because I remember it's like.
It's a very like.
So put that same scene. I don't remember.
Thomas John Anderson.
Yes.
I knew it was like a 3 name.
Such a American old school name.
Very like playwright name.
I feel like we did this one before. I'm gonna skip that one. Who walked in on Samantha and the Worldwide Express guy?
Oh, Carrie.
Yeah. So that's a giveaway, but how about this one? Who walked in on Miranda having sex with Robert?
Steve.
I know, my whole thing is sex. Who saw Charlotte having sex with Harry? This one is a trick.
Oh, wait, hold on. Who's,
It's not obvious.
Who saw Charlotte having sex with Harry? Mm-hmm. Was it a dog?
No.
A daughter?
It was Brady.
No. Yeah, I totally forgot about that because she was watching.
He doesn't know where his nose is.
Because Miranda was on honeymoon.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones too. When she's hiding out, he's coming to have sex with me.
She's like in the woods in her like negligee trying to call.
So yeah, she would be the first one to have a grandkid, and it brings she and Steve back together as friends. Mm-hmm. And we didn't talk about Joy.
You didn't like Joy. I could care less about Joy. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't think Joy was as invested.
Okay, we didn't talk about Joy-ish before they really started dating. But her little mishap when she was on BC. What is
Country.
it? The BBC. That was talk about that. Like, we're in 2025 now.
That's something that Charlotte.
That was hilarious.
I thought she looked really good in that scene, like being on TV.
I love Miranda. Okay, where did Carrie first see Mr. Big and his mother?
At church. Yes.
Okay, this is fun. True or false? Mr. Big went to church with his mother every Sunday in New York. True. In I have the season 1 card, I guess. Season 1, what did Samantha and James eat on their all-night date?
James.
Yes, I do remember this now.
James on their all-night date.
He's the one that had a tiny penis. It's the
Krispy Kreme.
Yes. Good. I would have forgotten that, but I remember seeing it. Okay.
I wouldn't have called that an all-night date, but sure.
I know. I'm like, I do remember that episode though.
Yeah.
All right. True or false? Charlotte went to a psychic to find out if she would get married.
True.
Yeah.
They were like, "You're cursed, but
do you remember
break
her?
It $400."
She's like, "What? You just say it like that?" She's like, "Well, honey, I'm not a shrink." She's like, "How could you just say it like that?" Would have been me. I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?"
But if they redid that scene now with like manifestation or something, because all the girls are so
I would have loved seeing that. They would try to ask him all like, "So what is your moon rise?" They're like, "Moon." Like, oh, this is a good one. Okay, go ahead.
What were Carrie and Samantha trying to buy in LA?
Fake handbags.
Mm-hmm. I have the LA card.
Yeah. They must all be themed.
Yeah.
Had Harry Goldenblatt been married before?
Ooh.
Okay, I just saw the answer to this, and I didn't.
I don't know.
He had.
Really?
And I did not know that.
He must have mentioned it.
I'm gonna have to like Google that.
Probably when they were dating.
He had been married before?
He probably said something like, "I'm not doing this again for something."
I know, it's something very under the
It would have been
radar.
something really, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like she wouldn't have dated a divorced guy.
I know,
or maybe when she had sex with him on the zebra reg, she probably said, "He's a divorcee" or something. Because she would not have been with a divorced guy.
That is so bizarre.
That would be taboo
I'm going to have to do a
for
deep dive
her.
into that because I'm shocked.
Let's please rewatch all of them because I love them.
You got to tell me twice.
So, spoiler, I did a little dog sitting last week and I had to come over and walk Lucy. And Sex and the City was playing and I was like, "Can we sit down and watch?"
You know why I do that?
Like, "Take me for a walk."
Because I leave the TV on for her, and if you put HBO Max on, it'll play it won't stop.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it started over because when I came home on Monday, season 1 was on. I'm like
that. I was like, "Let's sit down." I told you I sat down, and she was like, "Can we go for a walk?" I was like, okay.
She's a Sex and the City fan. So.
All right, go ahead. Or no, it's me.
Yes, you.
What kind of bikini wax did Carrie get in Los Angeles?
Oh my God, but they call it something. Well, it was a Brazilian, wasn't it? But I think they called it something.
I think no. It's just that now you're used to BBLs.
Maybe. Okay. What was the only sandwich Carrie ate on the train to San Francisco?
Oh my God, a turkey BLT club or a club sandwich.
Yes, club.
Because she was like, "Don't mix that with chips." Oh, I'm hungry.
And then she had the zit on her face. Or no, whatever the fuck it was.
Samantha. It was her and Samantha.
You know what? Whatever.
I used to think that when we talked about this last time, I thought that Seema was replacing Samantha. Samantha is a void you can't fill. Seema is just Seema.
And I'm sure they would tell you that.
that.
But do you not find it interesting that there was a certain point where Samantha got with Smith, but you saw a softer side of her?
Just like Seema. And you told me that. You were like, it's going to come to a point. But I love that they were so honest. Here's the thing. And even to contrast with Carrie and Aidan.
Yeah.
You can't be with someone long term and fake it because they're going to be cracks or you're going to slip. She was like, "Yeah, I'm this big boss who has a higher driver." And then, "Oh, I lost it. Now I'm starting my own business." And yes, I'm running a business, but I never thought he was flirting with Carrie. I just thought it would have been cute for him to get with Carrie. I get it,
but it was quite clear he was flirting with Seema.
When he sings to her when she has the eye patch, that was very Samantha coded. It's like when she broke her foot with... Okay, that scene was also funny too. Oh my God, hilarious.
They thought Miranda all this shit because she thought
the last time we talked about this, I was upset with all the singing in the beginning of season 3. That was appropriate singing. That was very appropriate.
Well, it was really funny. They did a good job of making it funny.
Miranda and Carrie were talking, and she was like, "Give me the machine back." She was like, "No, it's mine now." That was one of their most transparent conversations.
Do you know, I always get kind of like not startled, but when they fight...
I know.
Do you notice they're the only ones that really have... Well, I guess Charlotte got it.
I think friends are supposed to because I don't...
Charlotte did have an argument with Samantha that one time. Well, maybe 2.
Oh, yeah, when she fucked her brother.
And then I think, if I remember correctly, Charlotte and Miranda had when she was going to have an abortion originally. Yeah. They had a little... but it wasn't really... I wouldn't say it was a fight. But Carrie and Miranda have gone at it a couple times now. They go at it how real friends do. Like they're emotionally like distraught.
When they didn't talk in the movie for all that time.
Oh my God,
that was almost a bigger breakup than Steve.
Remember, like when they were they talked about relationships when they're in like secondhand store or something, and they have an argument in there again about guys.
But you know what though, Carrie in this season, Carrie was one of the strongest opinions. That's why I was like, this season is so watered down because you don't really get them. But it just wasn't in the first half of the season. And then because I think they were so afraid to step on her toes with Aidan. Even the friendship was like. Yeah, walking on eggshells.
Well, yeah, when she was getting really defensive,
because they definitely would have.
And Miranda did not cross a line at all. Mentioned like you and Duncan. Like I would expect someone to say that to me, but Carrie was like
defensive.
I was like, chill, bitch. Like
I know, but they definitely would have been picking at her more, but maybe not.
And you had
Stanford would have. Stanford was always the guy to be like he could cross that line. He was always the one jabbing at her.
Talk about a character I would love to have seen, like what would happen. Rest in peace.
See, why couldn't they have given him something like he had a kid that was snarky like him, and then
we could find like we could still like relive him in a certain way. Oh, yeah, no kidding. Well, who would he? What woman would he be fucking?
You know what though? He didn't pass too long ago. They could have given him a Samantha type thing, and they just been corresponding, and we get his funny quips.
Yeah.
They could have kept
him. He was too busy being a monk, apparently. I'm like, that was the dumbest shit you could have done. Like, really? That made me actually kind of pissed off. Like that.
Not as bad as Miranda sleeping with a nun. That's still ridiculous. Okay. Whose famous house were the women kicked out of in LA?
Oh, the Playboy Mansion. Mm-hmm. I guess Hugh Hefner's.
Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion.
What type of party did Carrie and Samantha try to crash on the train to San Francisco?
Oh, a bachelor party.
Yeah.
I was like, party on a train. What does a guy offer to buy Charlotte at the Playboy Mansion in LA?
Breasts. Boob job.
Oh, breasts?
Who did Charlotte tell Anthony she could never date?
Told Anthony? I don't remember. I feel like I wanted to be Harry, but I don't remember her talking to
It was Harry.
Anthony about Harry.
Remember at the park? She's like, I can't date him. I love that scene because she was like, just fuck me. And he was like saying, ugly sex is the best sex.
She thought Harry was ugly?
Well, he said that because she was
like, the most lasting relationship.
Because she was like, he has a hairy back and he's bald. Because again, remember Trey was like very like a doctor, very handsome. He was. And here's Harry like sweating on her divorce papers. He's still handsome.
He's just like completely
gray. Really is. You know, I would like to see him like a cameo.
Because of Sex and the City, I tried to watch Desperate Housewives.
I like Desperate. I
couldn't get through it. I couldn't. I probably because it was on ABC and it was watered down. Maybe if they made it now post scandal, or maybe if Shonda does it. I didn't care for the writing.
I like shows we can swear. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Grey's Anatomy is the caveat. I don't really watch too many like network shows.
Did you watch all 27 seasons of Grey's?
I have not watched it probably in the last 3 years. Oof. I haven't watched it since COVID. Well, back then it was like, this is too hitting home.
Yeah.
Like, we already have enough anxiety. I don't need to see Meredith Grey get COVID.
I know.
And then almost all the characters are gone. I'm like, I don't need to watch this anymore.
All right, let's do 2 more. What couldn't Carrie do in LA that frustrated her?
Drive?
Yes, but no.
Wait, hold on. What she couldn't? Oh, smoke. Mm-hmm. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, who did Charlotte try to just have sex with no romance?
Harry was down. Maybe because he wasn't divorcing.
Harry. I feel bad that I said I.
Well, I think you hated his scene with the jeans because you were like, Harry, okay, we don't care, and then you find out he has cancer, and you're like,
oh shit, I do love you.
We needed to play into the story. That's why we know they weren't ending it at this season because there was too much build. We want to know: does he go into remission? What happens to LTW and her husband? Because he was really down on like
every character. Mm-hmm. Every single character had character development.
I know.
Everyone had a storyline that could have continued on at least a few more seasons.
They were good.
So it's such a bullshit to me.
I know.
Shame on you, HBO.
Shame on you. But maybe Sarah Jessica Parker can do something with it. Just make it a YouTube series.
Or do you think, I don't know if how this works, maybe they could do another movie.
I want more than a movie.
I do too. I would button this up with a good movie.
Yeah.
And then call it a day.
But they could have called this a limited series if that's what it was. They weren't expecting that.
I could be wrong, but Sarah Jessica Parker did say originally it was only supposed to be that first season. It was supposed to be limited. They're like, this is good. Let's keep going. I could
now
be.
You guys teased us.
I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive. I do remember like an interview or something. I read that was supposed to happen, and then they pulled the rug from under us, and here we are.
Here we are.
And I'm still depressed about it.
But at least we get to overanalyze it.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, y'all. Thanks for overanalyzing, and just like that, season 3.
Can't wait to overanalyze. Oh, see, look, I'm so flustered right now. Overanalyze everything else.
I know.
And culture.
I know. Okay. All right, y'all. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Although I guess he has a different. Why does have a better hearing device?
Now, why did?
All right. So think about what you want to wear.
I can wear. You know what? I probably wear something black because I look good in black.